Change your field. Folder, you're writing draft, you're writing notebook, you're learning notebook, you're writing same stuff. As always. Oh, are you ready? In class, you have like.
Oh, but I can't hear.
I know, it's because the pin is weird. I don't know. I don't like the Well done. Those of you guys, I know there was an extra. No, same partners, just new sitting arrangement. So I am going to wait to start to make sure we all are able to sit where we need to sit. And if you need help with that. And just make sure we have enough room and everything. So gentlemen, Let's go, please. Pedro, you were like the first one to get your chair ready. It was the first one. You got a chair there and it took off. It's like, I'm never coming back.
No.
Again, gentlemen, please hurry up. Let's go. I'd like to start, but I want to make sure that we can all fit back here like we did before. And let you know the expectations for that. I'd like to start as quickly as humanly possible. Carla, looks like you're right next to Pedro over here. So right there. Sebastian, you're right here. So right next to, if Amalia were to be there, she's not. So space for Amalia. Just scooting down.
Mr. Light, can you do me a favor?
Santiago, you are to the right of Camila. And we kind of want to scoot these back so there's a nice little freeway. Awesome. Super. Looks pretty good.
Mr. Light, what session is it?
This is session 10.
Mr. Light, I can't do it.
No.
What's up?
But session 10 was yesterday.
We never actually got to session 10 the last time we tried to get to session 10. Well, this is for writing. Maybe that was session 10. Okay, so today we're talking about something called honing the meaning. Now, honing is a word that usually is used when it comes to knives. So you make a knife sharper by honing it. And so in this sense, we're wanting to make sure our meaning of our stories are very specific, that we know what the meaning is, and then we take steps to articulate and talk about that meaning through some different strategies that we can use as writers. Okay? So we've been talking about perspectives in Number the Stars. We talked about how we need to look at minor characters and how they might have a different perspective than the main character. This is the same thing. This is also true in the way that you show meaning in your writing. So I'm going to talk about that today. So you're, let's see if I did this.
Oh, did it?
No, I haven't changed it yet. Not a new unit. I will. New units are coming up.
Oh, did it?
It's your writing tip of the day.
All right, so we are looking to make sure that the perspective we use in our writing translates our meaning, okay, that they're the same thing, okay? I'm going to talk to that about right now. Again, I put these back up during the thing, so if you need time to do it then, there's also, I'm also going to be posting just the teaching points and the processes by themselves at some point in Classroom, so you don't, again, if you find yourself not being able to keep track of this stuff or keep up or pay attention, because that's the most important thing, remember, we're not copying anything down. It shouldn't be copied. It's kind of, you let it wash over you and then you write about it.
Some words you're gonna change.
I know. But at the end, you would just be like, oh, this is about, I need to make my meaning into a perspective. They need to be the same thing. Okay. All right. So how might we do that? So the very first thing you have to know as your writer is you have to know what your meaning is or what idea you're wanting to convey. So if I think about what I'm writing and my story about when my mom told me we were moving again, I have to decide what meaning am I wanting to convey. Number one, I could talk about how upset I was that I was moving again. Until that point in my life had been pretty stable. And then the last year and a half, I had a lot of changes. So maybe I would like to talk about is that we were moving again. Maybe that's the meaning I'm wanting to talk about. Maybe that's the idea I want to talk about. Maybe I want to talk about how I tried to make the best of a situation. Or maybe I want to talk about the loss that I'm going to be suffering because we're moving. And so I'm losing friendships. I'm losing a whole sport, it turned out. I never played soccer. So there was a lot of loss there. So I either talk about soccer, football. We wouldn't call it that. Yeah, soccer. The thing that you all play.
I thought that you play a lot. Me too. Yes.
Fifth grade. By the time I was through fifth grade, I played soccer every year until fifth grade, and then I didn't anymore after that. So what do I want to convey? Because if I want to talk about how upset I was that we were moving, I'm going to talk a lot about my internal feelings. There's going to be a lot of thoughts going on. However, I want to probably so what I want to do I want to show my internal dialogue? That's to show how I react to a bad situation or making a bad situation better. I probably want to focus on my actions, so the actions of others around me, and I want to describe the external. Okay, if I wanted to talk about the idea of loss, I think that would be both. I would be talking about my feelings about what I was losing, but I would also be describing maybe the people that I lost, maybe that sport that I lost. So I have to make a decision. First, what is the meaning that I want to convey? And second, how do I convey that? Okay. Through internal thoughts, through descriptions, through actions, what is my best way? So what I'm going to ask you to do right now is I want you to read through your draft or read through your work.
Do we have it?
And make sure you should have it with you. You turned it to me a while ago, and I gave it back to you a while ago. I want you to read through it, and I want you to really kind of make a decision as to what is the meaning. Like you might have to decide. Maybe you're like, I'm really struggling between 2 or 3 meanings. I want to. We're trying. But we have to know, what is that idea you're trying to transmit? What is the meaning that you're going to do? And then what is the best way that you're going to do it? So read through your work. What are you wanting to convey? What meaning are you wanting your readers to walk away with? Because until you have that figured out, you can't figure out what the best way to convey that meaning is. I read my draft and wrote in my writing notebook what my thought was and all that. So that would be my recommendation. Yeah, we're not there yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still here. We're still working from here right now. I want to see you do that work from here right now. I think it's a lot if we didn't have a draft. Where's your draft? This was a while ago. You gave me the draft. You had your draft all last week. You made the plan after it, the checklist. That whole thing, you had your draft set. The checklist where you had to make a plan out of it? Yeah. I give you back your draft then. I can look. Yeah. Not necessarily.
I don't know what's wrong.
Maybe because you haven't made one? I'm sorry, we're confused as to what we're supposed to be doing. You are reading through your draft, trying to figure out what meaning you're trying to convey to people.
But yeah, this
Well, my example is when I was living in Utah, we had just moved a year and a half before my parents got divorced. My life had been fairly straightforward and simple. I had gone to the same school until I was in 3rd grade. Then my parents got divorced, and I had to go to Utah. And then I was in Utah for not even a year and a half. No, about a year and a half. Then my mom told me that we were moving. And that day, I had been playing soccer. And years and years before, I was always on the worst possible soccer team in the history of mankind. Just awful, awful teams. Just goals upon goals upon goals. I was a goalie. I let up goals upon goals, feeling awful about life and myself because I felt like I let everyone down. And then there was a trade. You know what a trade is? Okay, there was a team, they traded for me. I don't know why, I don't know what happened. But I was finally on the best team in the league. And I was a goalie, and I was good. I was saving. It was great. We were undefeated. Hadn't lost. Playoffs were starting in 2 weeks. I was going to be on a good team in the playoffs. And my mom said, we're moving in a week. So I couldn't play. I didn't get to play in the playoffs. And so what is it I want to talk about that moment? Is it how I reacted to it? How upset I was? And how unfair life can be when people are making decisions that you can't do anything about? Do I want to communicate the loss that I felt? When I had to leave friends, I had to leave a sport. That was the last time I played soccer. I was 5th grade. 5th grade. I was your age. I was 5th grade. And then, or do I want to talk about like how you make the best out of a situation? So what meaning am I wanting to talk about from those 3 things? And then I would describe things differently. I would either do an internal monologue, a lot of thinking and how I'm reacting to things in my head, or am I going to describe a lot of external things like what's happening? Okay? So the very first thing you need to do is figure out what is the meaning of your story. And so you will not leave this area until you tell me what the meaning of your story is, and I see your draft, and I know you have one. Okay?
I'm not sure if that's a meeting, but
As long as you have a plan and a thought, that's all that I am too worried about right now. Let me check in with them, and then I don't know what I would have done with yours that was different than others. Yeah. Sure. I don't see you reading your draft. I don't see you doing the work. From here, where's your draft? Huh? Go get your draft. Come back. You have meaning? What's your meaning?
I want to put my feelings
Okay, you want to talk about feelings, but what means that's your perspective? You're going to be very internal. What does it mean you want to communicate? What's your idea? Okay. Cool. All right. You ready? You have an idea? Okay, so what do you think you're going to be? Internal only, external only, both? It's going to be internal, external, both? Okay, cool. You guys go back. Let's do it. Go back.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's fine.
Are you going to be going more internal? External? You hear me? ready to learn? That could be a mix. So we'll be doing thoughts and sit down. No. Too big. Sit down. Okay. Hey, you're not gonna sit down. Which one? What do you do back over here? Right here. What's up? Awesome. Good idea. Once you go, then you can make a change. Okay, and so what are you going to intern? More intern? Okay, you got an idea? What meaning idea do you want to What do you want to kind of teach? What's happening inside of you? What do you want to do?
What happened? Right now, your perspective is going to be internal, right? So you want to get a feel. So we don't know what I see. You're communicating it. Mine is not. People do this a little better life. You gotta focus more on the Let's try to make the best of a bad situation. You believe it.
I am proposing myself. Trying to say,
If I set a plan to keep myself, I can accomplish it. That's just like I said. You guys gotta go.